It is an honor to come to you again with another presentation coming from the light of Zion. Today I'm coming to you with another interesting expository presentation. And this one is titled God's Controversy with the Nations of the Earth. Yes, God's controversy with the nations of the earth. Yahuwah the living God has a controversy, a case to settle with the nations of the earth. And this case is concerning him and his chosen servants from Jacob, that is, Israel's descendants. Yes, this case he has with the nations is about his chosen servants and about himself, the living God, and his chosen servant, Israel, from Israel's descendants. Yahuwah, our God, will repay back to all the nations as they have done to his servants from Israel's descendants. Yes, and he will reward and redistribute resources back to Israel's descendants as he foretold. Yes, why is Yahuwah having a controversy or a case against the nations? Well, follow along in this presentation and you will see why he has a case or a controversy with all the nations. Yahuwah our God will go out to war with the nations. Yes, our God will go out and he will make war with the nations. We keep in expectation of Yahuwah our God, because Yahuwah our God will repay all the nations with vengeance and retribution at the appointed time, as they have done to Israel's descendants, the servants of the living God. That is the same way Yahuwah will repay to the nations. Yes, as they have done to Israel's descendants, the servants of the living God, Yahuwah will also repay the nations in the like manner. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 20 to 23, there it is written, concerning Israel's descendants, the living God said this about Israel's descendants. He said, "You are a war club to me, a weapon of battle, for which you I smash nations, with you I bring kingdoms to ruin. With you I will smash the horse and its rider. With you I will smash the war chariot and its rider. With you I will smash man and woman. With you I will smash old man and boy. With you, Israel descendants, he said, I will smash young man and woman. With you I will smash shepherds and his flock. With you, or because of you, Israel descendants, say, I will smash farmers and his team of animals. Say, with you I will smash governors and deputy rulers. Yes, it's concerning Israel that Yahuwah the living God goes to war with all the nations. Because he said we are his weapon of battle. He goes to war because of us. We are his servants, his chosen servants. And when the nations have not given attention or done right with us, Yahuwah will go to war concerning us in order to smash nations to pieces. Yes. So, watch out and wait and see what our God will do to all the nations because of Israel. once our share of his vengeance is ended. Right now, Israel descendants, we are going through the judgment or the vengeance of our God that is upon us. But watch out. As soon as we finish our own share of his vengeance, it will then be the turn of the nations to see the wrath and the vengeance of the living God. In the book of Lamentation, chapter 4, verse 22, there is written, "The punishment for your error, O daughter of Zion, has come to its finish." So he will not carry you off into exile again, but he will turn his attention to you, to your error, O daughter of Edom. He will uncover your sins. Yes, it was foretold to the daughter of Zion, that is Israel descendants, that our punishment will come to a finish. But then once our own punishment is come to a finish, it will become the turn of the people of the nations, the daughter of Edom and so on, to bear their own punishment for their error. For Yahuwah will uncover their sins that they have committed against him and against his servants. Yes. That is why Yahuwah will go out in order to war with the nations, as they have done to Israel's descendants in their midst. So Yahuwah will give to them back. Yes, he will uncover their sins that they have committed against the living God. So let's discuss Yahuwah's coming vengeance and judgment on the nations. We, Israel descendants, we have to endure in our final 2,000 years punishment and vengeance of our God until ours is ended. Yes, then we will see the vengeance of our God pass on to the nations, especially the daughter of Edom, that is the America, the Great Britain, and the Europeans. Yes, once our own punishment is over, it will be their own turn to bear the punishment or to see the vengeance of the living God. Yes, the daughters of Ishmael, the Arabs, and the daughters of the Amorites and the Moab, Japan and China, each will not go unpunished by Yahuwah our God. Yahuwah said he is going to punish them for their error. Likewise, the daughter of Ham, Egypt, Cush, Put, and Canaan, and their descendants today, they will also face the judgment of the living God. Yes. Right now, the judgment of the living God is upon the Israel descendants, his people, the daughter of Zion. The judgment started first with the house of the living God, Israel. But afterwards, the judgment will pass on to the nations after we complete our own vengeance of our God. So it is because they have all done what is wicked to Israel, to Israel's descendants, the servants of the living God, who is scattered as seed in their midst. Yes, all these nations, daughter of Ham, daughters of Ishmael, daughters of Edom, they have all done what is wicked towards Israel's descendants that is scattered in their midst. Yes. Yahuwah will repay them with vengeance and judgment according to all their deeds towards Israel's true descendants, as he has foretold. Yes, because he has always foretold what he's going to do. The living God never hide what he's doing. He foretells in advance what is coming. So after Israel descendants, we complete our 2,000 years punishment that is on us. It will become the turn of the daughter of Edom, the daughter of Ishmael, the daughter of Ham. All these nations will also bear their own punishment for their error that they have committed against the living God and his chosen servant, Israel descendants. Yes, Yahuwah, yes, his foretold vengeance and judgment on the nations is getting near. Because Israel, our own punishment is almost about to end. And he has forewarned about this coming day of vengeance and judgment and retribution. Yes, our God has foretold about this day, coming day of his vengeance, his judgment, and retribution to all the nations. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 29 to 35, there it is written, say, for look, I am bringing calamity first on the city that bears my name, that upon my people Israel. Say, should you, the nations, go unpunished? Say, you will not go unpunished, for I am calling for a sword against all the inhabitants of the earth, declares Yahuwah of armies. And you are to prophesy all these words to them, and say to them, from on high, Yahuwah will rule, and from his holy dwelling he will make his voice heard. So he will rule loudly against his abiding place, shouting like those treading the winepress. So he will sing triumphantly against all the inhabitants of the earth. So a noise will resound to the ends of the earth. For Yahuwah has a controversy with the nations, and he will personally pass judgment on all humans. And he will put the wicked to the sword, declares Yahuwah. This is what Yahuwah of armies says. He said, look, a calamity is spreading from nation to nation, and a great tempest will be unleashed from the remotest part of the earth. And those slain by Yahuwah in that day will be from one end of the earth clear to the other end of the earth. So they will not be mourned, nor will they be gathered up or buried. So they will become like manure to the surface of the ground. So well, you shepherds, as the leaders, and cry out, wallow about, you majestic ones of the flock, because the time of your slaughter and your dispersion has come. And you will fall like a precious vessel. The shepherd has no place to flee, and there is no escape for the majestic ones of the flock. He said, listen, the outcry of the shepherds and the wailing of the majestic ones of the flock, for Yahuwah is devastating their pasture. Yes, so Yahuwah has foretold of this judgment that is going to come upon all the nations. So he will personally pass judgment on all humans. He said he will rule from on high, and he will make his voice heard. Calamity will go from nation to nation, and those put to death by Yahuwah the living God will be from one end of the earth to the other ends of the earth. They will not be buried, because there will be so many. They will not be mourned, nor be gathered up. Yahuwah will devastate the pastures. So even the shepherds or the leaders of the people who are leading the people, the nations today, will have nowhere to flee. They can't run away from this judgment that is coming by the Most High God. They cannot hide away. Even if you dug a bunker to hide away From there, Yahuwah will search you out. So all the leaders of the earth, they will all see the judgment of our God when the time comes. For there will be no place to hide. So you will hear the outcry of these shepherds or these leaders, and they will be wailing. All these majestic ones will be wailing, because Yahuwah will devastate their pasture or their nations. Yes, because of their sins that they have committed against him and against his chosen servant, Israel descendants. So yes, this vengeance and judgment of Yahuwah will come upon all the nations once Israel descendants completes our own share of Yahuwah's vengeance. Yes, once we complete our own vengeance and judgment around the year 2030 and to 2033. Yes, that is when our own judgment or vengeance of our God on us will come to an end. For the vengeance of our God on us will last for 2,000 years. But then once we complete ours, it will be the turns of the nations to see the vengeance and judgment of the living God. So Yahuwah our God will rule, and he will decide over all the nations and individuals as to who will live and who will be exterminated of the earth. Yes, he will rule. He said he will personally pass judgment on all humans. In the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 16 to 18, there it is written, "And the 24 elders who were seated before God on their thrones fell upon their faces and worshipped God, saying, We thank you, Yahuwah, God the Almighty, the one who is and who was, because you have taken great power and begun ruling as king." Yes, as king over the earth. So, but the nations became wrathful. Your own wrath came, and the appointed time came for the dead to be judged, and to reward your servants, the prophets, and the holy ones, and those feared in your name, the small and the great, and to bring to ruin those ruining the earth. So Yahuwah will, with a mighty power, begin to rule and judge as king over all the earth. For the earth belongs to the living God who created the earth. He is the one to be worshipped as God. So he will rise up to execute judgment on all nations and all flesh. And the wicked will be put to death. Even though the nations became wrathful, but the time is coming for our God to do what? To show his own wrath. He will, with power, judge all the inhabited earth. Yes. And he will reward his servants, the prophets, the holy ones, and those fearing his name, small and great, and to bring to ruin those who has been ruining the earth, making it unlivable for their fellow humans. He will bring them to ruin also. He will bring an end to such ones. Yes, the nations first became wrathful towards Israel and her descendants. The nations became wrathful towards Israel and her descendants, the chosen servants of the living God. They enslaved, they mistreated, they exploited, they massacred many servants of Yahuwah that were sent in their midst. Yes, because they were what? Wrathful towards God's chosen race, God's chosen servants. Because of this, Yahuwah will judge them and bring vengeance upon all the nations. However, Yahuwah's appointed time for vengeance and wrathful judgment towards the nations have now arrived, as he has foretold. And when you look around, you can see it is coming. Their turn for the judgment of God is coming. So Yahuwah will judge the nations and will devastate them as they have done towards Israel's descendants. Yes, the earthquakes and the hurricanes and all this calamities that you are seeing is just the beginning. Wait until the appointed time arrives, and you will see how Yahuwah with a mighty power will bring down the nations, because he will repay them as they have done towards Israel's descendant, his chosen servant. Yahuwah will then reward his servants from Israel's descendants, and he will raise them up in order for them to take over rulership of the earth. Yes, Yahuwah will reward his servants from Israel's descendants and will raise them up in order to rule over the earth. In the book of Revelation chapter 5 verse 10, there is revealed, it's written, "And you made them to be a kingdom and priests to our God, and they are to rule as king over the earth." So after Yahuwah has devastated all the kingdoms and nations with his vengeance, he will raise up his servants from Israel's descendants, and he will make them to become a king, a kingdom, and priests of our God, of the living God, and they will rule over the earth. Yes, that is what is written. In the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1 to 3, there is written about this coming judgment and vengeance of our God on the nations. It's written, "For look, in those days and in that time, when I bring back the captives of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather together all the nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat," that is the valley of judgment. "And I will enter into judgment with them there on behalf of my people and my inheritance Israel. For they scattered them among the nations, and they divided up my land among themselves. For my people they cast lot. They would trade a boy for a hire, to hire a prostitute, and sell a girl for a wine to drink." So yes, Yahuwah said he's going to do what? Gather all the nations together and bring them for judgment, to see his vengeance. Joel chapter 3 verse 9 to 11 is written. He said, "Proclaim this among the nations, prepare for war. He said, stir up mighty men, let all the soldiers draw near. He said, let them advance. He said, beat your plowshares into a sword, and your pruning shears into spears. He said, let the weak ones say, I am powerful. Come and help all you surrounding nations. Assemble together to the place. O Yahuwah, bring down your powerful ones." So Yahuwah is calling all the nations to come be prepared for this battle. It's called the Battle of Armageddon, Battle of Annihilation for the nations. So they should prepare. All their mighty men should get ready and come down to this valley of judgment, because Yahuwah is coming with his holy, powerful ones, the angels, in order to judge all the inhabited earth, to judge all humans. So Yahuwah will use his powerful ones, his angels, to judge the nations and take vengeance and justice for his servants. Yes. If you know the living God, what he did, remember in the land of Egypt, the angel of death went out in one night, and all the firstborns of Egypt was put to death. In the days of the Assyrian king, an angel of the Most High went out just in one night. 185,000 Assyrian soldiers became dead. He put them all to death. Just one angel. But Yahuwah is bringing down his powerful ones to fight and to war with the nations. He told the nations, prepare for war. Let all your mighty men do what? Draw near and come for judgment and prepare to fight. For he is coming with his powerful ones to judge the ends of the earth. For the earth belongs to Yahuwah, the living God, and he will decide who lives in it and rules of who will live to follow for those who will live in it. So prepare for war, you mighty men, soldiers of the nations, prepare for war, for it is coming. The living God is coming with his powerful ones to fight with all the armies of the earth. In the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 12 to 17, there is written, say, let the nations be roused and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of judgment. For there I will sit in order to judge all the surrounding nations. Say, trust in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come down and trade, for the winepress is full. The vat overflows, for their badness is abundant. So crowds and crowds are in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahuwah is near in the valley of decision. Sun and moon will become dark, and the stars will lose their brightness. And Yahuwah will roar out of Zion, out of Jerusalem he will raise his voice, and heaven and earth will rock. But Yahuwah will be a refuge for his people, a fortress for the people of Israel. And you will have to know that I am Yahuwah your God, residing in Zion, my holy mountain. Jerusalem will become a holy place, and strangers or foreigners will pass through her no more. Yes, Yahuwah our God will cleanse his land, his holy mountain, Zion. And all the strangers that are now occupying the land will pass through her no more. So he has told the nations to prepare and come down for this judgment. He will decide who will reside in his holy mountains. Yes. He will choose who will be his servants in his holy mountains. But the nations in their arrogance drove Israel's descendants away from the holy mountain, his Yahuwah's holy mountain, and they have taken over the land of Israel till today. But wait until Yahuwah's time to take vengeance upon all the nations. And he will do what? He will drive all the strangers away in order to bring back his chosen servants to serve him in his holy mountains and to carry out his will on the earth. Yes, Yahuwah will make them a kingdom and praise to our God. Yes, so Yahuwah will judge all the nations because he has a controversy with the nations. The nations do not know Yahuwah the living God, but they are serving their own God, the devil. Yes, and for this Yahuwah will bring his vengeance upon the nations to show them who is the ruler and God over the earth. Yahushua, the Savior of Israel, declared of this coming judgment and vengeance day of our God on all the nations. He declared it this way in the book of Matthew chapter 13, verse 36 to 43. There it's written, "Then after dismissing the crowds, he went into the house. His disciples came to him and said, 'Explain to us the illustration of the weeds in the field.' In response, he said, 'The sower of the fine seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. As for the fine seed, these are the sons of the kingdom. But the weeds are the sons of the wicked one. And the enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is a conclusion of the system of things, and the reapers are angels. So therefore, just as the weeds are collected and burned with fire, so it will be in the conclusion of the system of things. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect out from his kingdom all the things that cause stumbling and people who practice lawlessness. And they will pitch them into the fiery furnace. There is where their weeping and the gnashing of their teeth will be. At that time, the righteous ones will shine as brightly as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Let the one who has ear listen." So yes, the Savior of Israel declared it to us that God's day of vengeance is coming upon the nations. He will lead the charge. He will send the angels, and they will gather all the weeds and burn them with fire. But the sons of the kingdom will be gathered into the kingdom of their Father. Yes. So this judgment of vengeance of our God upon all the nations is coming. And there is no escape from it. There is no escape from it. Wait for it. It's coming at its appointed time. Yahuwah has a controversy to settle with all the nations. And as they have done to his chosen servant Israel, descendants, so Yahuwah will also give to them. As they devastated his chosen servant Israel, so Yahuwah will devastate all the nations. Yes. So look ahead and wait for it, because this judgment is coming, and it will come to pass at the appointed time. So until I come to you with next presentation, remain vigilant, remain watchful, for we are almost at the end of our own vengeance and punishment from our God. But remember, after we finish ours, it will be the turn of the nations to bear the punishment of the living God. Again, thank you until I come to you with another presentation. Keep searching and keep calling on the name of Yahuwah for your salvation. Again, thank you.